Hi guys, so here we go, Unit 11. First word is facade. It is a noun and it has two definitions, so make sure you understand they're both. The face of a building, you would say like the facade. So the facade of the building was repaired after the earthquake. Or an outward appearance that is maintained to conceal less pleasant or credible reality. So you would say like, her flawless public facade, her flawless public appearance. You might put on a professional facade when you go to a job interview, for example. Figment, it is a noun, a thing that someone believes to be real but only exists in their imagination. So when you go to use this word in a sentence, try to use the word of after figment and you'll probably use it correctly. So a figment of her overheated imagination. So something has to be like a figment of, right? So it's a belief that only exists like in your mind. So an invention, a creation of your mind. Forego is a verb. It's something that you do, and it means to admit or decline to take, to go without. So you would forego dessert, something like that. You might forego, I don't know, a raise if you didn't think you were doing a really good job, that kind of thing. So forego is to go without. Histrionic. This is a noun and an adjective. It in the adjective form, it means overly theatrical or melodramatic in character or style. So a histrionic outburst, like overly dramatic, you would describe it as histrionic. In the noun form, it is when you are actually referring to the behavior that is overly dramatic. So her histrionics were known all around the school, for example. Tantrums. It's usually a negatively toned word. Again, it's either describing someone's behavior or the behavior itself that is exaggerated or overly dramatic. Ignominy. It is a noun and it means to publicly shame or disgrace. So the ignominy of being imprisoned. So I'm sure you can think of about 10, shameful or disgraceful things that could happen. You would be known the ignominy of. Okay. So again, this is another word you'll probably use correctly if you use of afterwards. So the ignominy of her behavior was all over the newspaper, for example. Imminent, it is a noun and it means about to happen. So, imminent danger, you often hear it used that way. So, or a ceasefire was imminent, it was about ready to happen. The vocab quiz was imminent. Imperturbable, it is an adjective and it means unable to be upset or excited, very calm. You know people who tend to be imperturbable. You can't upset them, or it takes a whole lot to really like throw them off. You would describe that person as imperturbable. Importune, it's a verb and it means to ask someone pressingly or persistently. It's like not giving up. I know you've heard little children importune their parents for something to ask over and over and over again for it. You'd be importuning. It's the sense of like begging. A dog might importune its owner for, I don't know, some snacks or something. Intelligible, it's an adjective and it means maybe to or able to be understood or comprehensible, more intelligible to the general public. It's easy to understand. You might like reading a book that is very intelligible. A lot of the plays you guys are reading right now are very intelligible. You can understand it pretty easily. However, older things like we're reading Oedipus, you might find to be less intelligible because the way they speak is a little bit old. It's not how we speak today. Intermittent, it is an adjective and it means occurring in irregular intervals, intermittent rain. So it starts and then it stops again and it starts and then stops. So like intermittent laughter, it starts and stops again. Inure is a verb and it means accustomed to something, especially something unpleasant. So, been inured to violence, to be hardened or seasoned. And usually this has to do with people. Okay. So, you wouldn't say like the board was inured. Somebody has to become hardened through like a really rough experience. Lackadaisical, It's an adjective and it means lacking enthusiasm or determination, careless and lazy. So a lackadaisical defense. They're just kind of like lazy, lethargic, not really into whatever they're doing. The behavior is lackadaisical. Laconic, it's an adjective and it's person, speech, or a style of writing that uses very few words. So brief, concise, like the description on the back of a book might be very laconic. Lampoon, it's a verb and a noun. In the verb form, it means to publicly criticize. So the students lampooned, I don't know, the teacher by, I don't know, drawing up like a rude comic or something. In the noun form, and it means a speech or text criticizing someone or something. So, like Saturday Night Live might be a lampoon, okay, of what's going on in the world. So, the verb is to lampoon, which is to publicly criticize or ridicule. And then in the noun form, it is the speech or thing criticizing. Languish, it is a verb, and there are two ways that you can use this. First is a person or other living thing that grows weak or feeble. So the plants may start to languish. An older person may languish in a retirement home. Or it means to suffer from being forced to remain in an unpleasant place or situation. Some of you may feel that you are languishing in English right now and you just want to graduate. Largesse, two ways that you could use this. Either it means generosity and bestowing money, so like generosity, known for her largesse, her generosity. Money or gifts being given, so the distribution of money or gifts. So it's either the behavior of being generous or the thing you are being generous with. Ludicrous, it's an adjective, so being incredibly foolish, the ludicrous behavior, that kind of thing. Malaise, it's a noun, a general feeling of discomfort, illness, or uneasiness. So the society affected by a deep cultural malaise. It's just a general feeling of uneasiness, and a lot of times you don't know why the feeling is there. Mendacious, it's an adjective, not telling the truth or lying. So the mendacious propaganda, the mendacious little child, the mendacious politician. Mesmerize, it is a verb. It means to hold the attention of someone to the exclusion of all else. So she was mesmerized by, enthralled, hold, spellbound. It's like something has your attention so much you don't see anything else besides that one thing. Like a car that you really like, you see it driving down the road and you don't notice any other cars because you are mesmerized by that one. Okay, that's the last word.